Hello everyone, I'm back. Well, not literally back, I'm still Juneda. Today, we'll review the SCR version 2.1 update, which I'm excited about because SCR wasn't updated for 3.5 months since version 2.0.1 was released. I guess SCR was waiting to release it during the holidays. But before I talk about this update, let's have a quick dive and review the version 2.0.1 since I haven't reviewed this one yet. We'll get onto the version 2.1 soon, don't worry. Starting off with this sneak peek here, which was posted on September 11th, 2024, showing the cab of an upgraded Voyager Express train. 6 hours later after the said sneak peek, the update for version 2.0.1 was released. This update includes an upgraded class to 20 and to 21 of course, with specific guard buzzers for Voyagers. What can I say other than attention to detail? I mean, look at this detail. It's amazing, I have no words. Other than those, there are capacity improvements for Benton, Coxley, Layton City, Stepford Central, and Faraday Road, which regard having more platform allocations available and a new junction to accommodate the train flow efficiently and potentially reduce further delays. This update also increases the server player size up to 75 players due to performance improvements and other logs that I won't bother mentioning. That's pretty much it for this update, and it was nice to have it. Now let's review the version 2.1, which is the main part of this video. As usual, let's start off with this sneak peek here, posted on December 16, 2024, showing express trains at Layton Stepford Road. Looks like we got a brand new train called the Class 390. We're getting Pendolinos in SCR. You can tell this by looking at the shape and design of the model, which is similar to the said train in real life. Additionally, looking at the PIS board, it shows that this train is formed of 11 coaches. This will be the new longest train in SCR, beating the Class 345, which has 7 coaches. Wow, this is interesting. What's more interesting is this sneak peek here, posted on December 22nd, 2024. This shows the express trains near Morganstown. Unlike the previous sneak peek, we can clearly see the front of the Class 390, aka Pendolinos, in addition to having a double unit for the Class 801 above. This means we're actually getting longer trains now, including the 10-car of the said train, which is coupled, and possibly a 9-car train for the Class 80X, which is a single unit. Lastly, the overhead wires have been improved for this area as well. Finally, on the day before Christmas Day, SCR version 2.1 was released. This update introduces the Long Trains Gamepass, which has been very controversial because the Gamepass costs 1,000 Robux. I will talk about this more later in this video. Purchasing the Gamepass will unlock a new train called the Class 390 Pendolino with 2 variants, a 9-car and 11-car, which is now the longest train in the game. So this is the train that I'm driving right now. Looking at the front, it doesn't feel right for some reason, but it's still nice to have a new train like this, and it's detailed. You just need a Gamepass. The exterior overall looks good. I like it. We also have the train information located on each door, such as the head code, departure time, destination, and next stop. The interior looks absolutely amazing. I mean, everything here is as realistic as the one in real life, in terms of designs. This includes the cab. As usual, very detailed. The opening and closing doors sounded good.
This is Edgemead.
But the horn is standard. And also, the train doesn't tilt unlike in real life. Maybe they will in the future, so I still have hopes for it. Now my favorite part of this train is the sound of the train itself. I am very impressed, and it literally sounds like a plane taking off as you accelerate. It also has some rail sounds. Aside from the Class 390, purchasing the Gamepass will also unlock new variants from existing trains, including the double unit variants and 9-car variants for Intercity Express trains. Note that you have to purchase the shorter version of the train listed on the right side using points to unlock a longer version accordingly, as long as you have the Gamepass. The following double unit trains are the Express Class 800, 801, AirLink Class 802, Express and AirLink Class 397s, Express Class 220, 221, and AirLink Class 387. The following 9 car variants are the Express Class 800, 801, and AirLink Class 345. Never mind, it still has 7 cars, which are supposed to have 9 cars like in real life. What about the HST? We'll get longer HSTs eventually. Also, trains consisting of multiple units are now able to have multiple unit numbers like this. And also, certain platforms have been limited to only allow trains below a certain length. With the introduction of longer trains, this may make the dispatching and guarding procedure more challenging, especially on curved platforms. The dispatcher and guard guides have been updated and it is recommended to read it so you're aware of the changes. The rules of dispatching and guarding remain the same, such as dispatching from the rear half of the train without the guard. For a dispatcher without a guard, ensure that you can see as much of the train as possible, and also ensure your baton is visible to the driver. Here are the recommended positions for dispatching longer trains as explained in the guide. For express double units, stand between coach cars E or N. For 9 car trains, stand between cars G to H or cars J to H. For 11 car trains, stand between cars F to G or H to G. For the AirLink double unit, stand between cars A or G. If those coach letters are between the middle and rear of the train, you should position them by the number of coaches and the coach letters. For a dispatcher with a guard, as usual, you should stand between the front and middle of the train, facing the guard. You may dispatch closer to the middle of the train so that the dispatcher and guard can see each other, including your baton, guard's torch, and the front of the train. For guarding, here is the list below for different types and how to switch ends when arriving at the terminating station, as you can see on the right side. To simplify this, the local door of an 8-car train is always positioned at the very rear of the train, while the local door of 9, 10, and 11 car trains are always positioned on the third coach from the rear of the train. If unsure, the interlock light on the side of the coach with the local door will always be flashing, like this one. For the Class 397 and 390, depending on what side the platform is, the local door may vary by 1. I think this is similar with the Class 195 and 331, so just be aware. For full guides, links in the description. Here are the following upgrades for this update, such as the Hemdon Park station. The scenery around here has finally been improved, including the Beachley Royal Upholstery House, also known as Bruh, and also a new shop called Shop Name. This place doesn't feel empty now. The station itself looks nice overall. It has this area where I think bicycles park here. I'm not from the UK, so I'm not sure. Also, lifts have been added to cross between platforms. This station needed an upgrade since it wasn't touched from when the station was added, which was 4 years ago. Also, I think the Hemdon Park Ranger Stadium was removed from the game now. The Berrily Depot has been upgraded, which is located between Berrily Station and East Berrily Station. The depot itself looks good. There are some interesting things that I saw, such as these overhead wires and this junction. I've never seen junctions like this. Train spawning in this depot will still use the same place as before. Here are the remaining upgrades, including the bug fixes. I almost forgot, there is a new route for Express that goes Stepford Central to Llyn-by-the-Sea via Benton, also known as the West Coast Express. Now, let's talk about the Longer Trains Gamepass that costs 1000 Robux. Again, this Gamepass allows you to unlock all trains that are 8 coaches or longer, as long as you have the shorter version of a respective train. For example, when you purchase a 5-car Class 802, you'll unlock the double unit version if you have the Gamepass. What's the reasoning behind this Gamepass being added? Here are the advantages and disadvantages, or let's say pros and cons. Let's start with cons. Number 1. The price is unexpectedly expensive. It's literally equivalent to changing your Roblox username, although it only has a single Gamepass. In fact, the Gamepass was originally priced at 350 Robux before the update. It was then being off sale until the update was released. Number 2. Players who cannot afford the Gamepass, especially the ones that play SCR often and like to drive longer trains, are unfortunate. I think we mostly want longer trains. Number 3. People were so excited for the update, as well as longer trains due to these sneak peeks. Additionally, before the update, Several stations have extended their platforms and added more car markers, meaning it's a sign that longer trains will be added, and here we are now. The update was even released on Christmas Day. People were so excited to drive longer trains until it requires a Game Pass that costs 1,000 Robux. Number 4. Purchasing the Game Pass does not unlock any features in-game that are not accessible through earning points or experiences faster. Now for the pros. Number 1. Purchasing the Game Pass will unlock up to 15 different variants that are 8 coaches or longer as of now, as long as you have the shorter ones. Number 2. According to the Operations Director, any future long trains added to the game will be unlocked for free in the future if you purchase the Game Pass. The cost is also not going to increase over time, which means you don't need to buy anything if another long train was added to the game because you already own the Game Pass. Number 3. Same statement from the director. They don't want everyone driving long trains in the game. That will simply make things unrealistic, as well as not wanting to make this easily accessible to trolls who could disrupt the game further. For me, this means AirLink and Express only have longer trains, and if everyone drives it, only few drivers will use the Connect, Line, and shorter trains. Number 4. Producing these updates and making trains or new features costs money, and they need to pay the development team. I completely understand this because look at the game we have now. Trains and stations are so detailed, and it requires a lot of skill to make. So I appreciate the developers for implementing and improving the game over time. At the end of the day, SCR is a game where people can enjoy playing by driving, dispatching, and other stuff. If you like to drive longer trains and have enough Robux to purchase the Game Pass, it's definitely worth it. I know the Game Pass is expensive, but there's nothing we can do about it, and I have already explained the pros and cons. Also, you may be wondering why I have access to longer trains, but I do not own the Game Pass. This is because supervisors actually have access to longer trains. However, if a supervisor resigns and gets ranked down, they won't have access anymore and will have to purchase the Game Pass to unlock those. Overall, the update was interesting. We have some upgrades and then several longer trains. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed watching this video. If you do, please drop a like and subscribe as well. Don't forget to spend time with your family. Happy holidays!